Hi guys, and welcome to a new video on Buy2Geek. Today I'm going to be looking at 5 items of tech that have caught my eye on Amazon recently, and I wanted to share them with you. So let's get to it. The first item that caught my eye, and actually I've been looking at this for quite a while, is the Eufy Security Wireless Video Doorbell. So this, if you didn't know, this is kind of like a competitor to the Ring doorbell and all the other variants that are in the marketplace. Just to give you an example of some of the features on it, as I say, it's 2K. It's an attractive looking doorbell as well. It's not a hideous thing that's going to sit on the outside of your house, if that's one of the concerns that you have with regards to these things, because they are a lot larger than normal doorbells, obviously because they've got all the camera bits inside. As I say, it's 2K and WDR as well, so you get nice, clear, colourful images. The batteries last up to 6 months. Obviously, if you have a lot of visitors to your house and they're all pressing the doorbell, then that time might be reduced a little bit. From what I've read in reviews of this and some of the things like their security cameras, they're pretty good on their estimates of battery life. So 6 months, I think, is a good time frame. They're not being unrealistic there. With regards to the storage, military grade AES-256 encrypted storage locally on your premises, so not in a cloud, not something that suddenly somebody's going to hike up the price, which means that you're going to potentially lose having that cloud backup because it's going to be too expensive. Another really nice feature on this is the enhanced human detection. So a lot of these cameras have issues. They just can't tell what is a human and what are shadows, moving objects and things like that, and that's what triggers a lot of these devices, which ultimately is what drains your battery in usage. By having that human detection, it knows not to keep on firing the camera all the time. Activity zone, yes, some of the other cameras, they have activity zones as well, so this is kind of essential to not picking up the wider traffic and public going past your house. You've got things like Alexa integration, so you get that see who it is at your door. You can connect it on Google as well, and it's got voice. So this is nothing special to this camera. They've all got some way of communicating to whoever's at your front door. So Eufy do 2 versions of this. Obviously the battery powered one is the one that's recently been released. They do a wired version as well, and that has, because it's wired, you have the ability to have like a 3-second buffer on it. If that's something that you're interested in, then maybe look at the wired one. Point to note there, it's only 4 GB of storage, and that's on the doorbell itself, so you don't actually get that home base, which, as you can see there, it's 16 gig on the home base. Guys, this is £199 at the moment. There is a £20 voucher that you can apply to this at the moment, so I've not seen it drop in any kind of price since release. So obviously take into account that £20 and it's highly competitive to everything else on the market. So I'll put a link in the description, guys, if this is something that interests you, and you can take a look yourself. Second item on the list, guys, not specifically tech, but it is tech related, and I'd never heard of this before, but it's been a revelation for me. If you've got TV screens, tablets, obviously you've probably got your computer screen or your laptop screen or whatever, you've probably in the past gone and used those little fold up wipes that you get in the little sachets. They do a job. They clean your screen. You generally will get streaks on it. They're not great, but they do a job. I've used those. I've also used the ones that you get in a roll in a tub that ultimately end up drying out over a period of time because you never end up using them all. I came across this. I think I saw it on somebody's blog somewhere. As I say, never heard of it before. It is absolutely fantastic. It's not cheap, but when you look at the quantity that you get, then this is far cheaper in the long run than all those other things that I've mentioned before. So it's a chemical-free cleaner for your screens. Even things like glasses, if you wear glasses, you know, it's great for those. And you get the bottle with a spray handle on it, and you get a microfiber cloth with it. You literally 2 or 3 squirts onto the cloth, and you wipe over your screen, and then you turn your cloth over and then wipe it the other way, and you get a fantastic streak-free clean screen. It's so clear, it's just unbelievable. It's just got natural ingredients inside it in the liquid, so it's not going to damage any kind of layers on your device or anything like that. As I say, I bought this. As soon as I bought it, I tried it on my PC screen, my tablet, my phone, my television. They all came up absolutely fantastic. It smells okay, you know, it's not like an overpowering smell or anything like that. So you're looking at about a 50% saving if you went down the route of using kind of like the little cloths instead. There's not much else to say about this really. You know, if you've got devices, certainly tablets or, you know, displays in your car or something like that where people are constantly touching those screens, this is fantastic for that. Obviously, you know your PC screen, if you're playing games and you're looking at that all day long, the dust is going to build up on it. This will just get that really nice and clean and clear. And it's just a great item to have on around your desk or something like that, so you can just quickly clean it. If you want some more information on this, I've actually done a review of this on my blog. There's a link to that in the description, but I can't rate this highly enough. As you can see, there's over 8,000 reviews, and they're all really positive about this product. So I'll put a link to this in the description. Because I highly recommend that you guys pick this up. I know it's not tech, but you know, you should always look after your tech. Third on the list, and this is getting back to tech. It's a CPU. It's an AMD Ryzen 5 CPU, and I've chosen this one, the 3600, because right now this is quite possibly the best CPU to money ratio that you can buy. It's come down in price recently. As you can see, £159 from just under £200, penny short of £200. You know, if you can pick yourself up one of these, you've got a great 6-core 12-thread CPU that will go all the way up to 4.2 gigahertz. Pair this up with, you know, a good graphics card, and this will make, you know, a really good gaming CPU. This is actually in my list of items to buy, along with many other things. This is probably going to be the CPU that I move away from my Intel CPU onto this one, either this or the 3600X. Given there's a slight price increase, there's not much more of a benefit between them. So you can read all the details on the Amazon website about this. It gets fantastic reviews elsewhere. You know, the benchmarks are absolutely fantastic, and if you're in that middle ground where you're doing gaming and you're doing some productivity type work, then you know those extra cores, if you've got a 4-core CPU or a 2-core CPU at the moment, you know, those extra cores that you get with a 6-core CPU, you know, would just take you up that next level really, and you'll reap the benefits of that. That's my third item on the list. There's a link to this down below. Take a look at it. As I say, price wise, it's right on the money at the moment. You know, it's a big step up to the Ryzen 7s in terms of price, and you know, that difference in the price you could put towards an even better graphics card, which, you know, if you're a gamer, that's going to be an awful lot more beneficial than going up for even more cores on your CPU. So check it out, guys. Take a look. You know, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Would you choose this CPU? Would you pay the extra and go above and get a Ryzen 7 CPU instead, or are you firmly on the Intel camp? You know, would you get one of the new Intel CPUs, which again, you know, great CPUs, but they are more expensive than what this is. So something to discuss in the comments, guys. So the fourth item on the list is the Amazon Echo Flex. Not a new item by any means. It's been on the market for a number of months now. This is just, Amazon release new devices all the time. Sometimes they make a bit of a fanfare about it, sites pick it up and review them. I think the Echo Flex is one of those things that has really kind of gone under the radar. I've seen a couple of reviews about it, but I don't see it splashed all over the place. But I think it's a really clever addition to the family. I think there are some omissions to it, and I'll get to those in a second. But this is about the same price as what you'd pay for the Echo Dot. And as you may know, the Echo Dot, you've got trailing wire to that, and then you plug it into the wall. This is more of a device that you actually just plug into the wall itself. So it takes away that need for all that cable. If you've got any kind of maybe Wi-Fi extenders or something like that, think of it as looking at that kind of device. So it's, as I say, it's the same kind of price. It's just penny short of £25. So it's the smart speaker built all into one, really. No need for that extra cable. One of the things to note that's probably slightly different between this to an Echo Dot is that because obviously the everything's crammed into this small unit, the speaker is not going to be as good as perhaps what you get out the Echo Dot. So it's more for the voice side of things, the Alexa responses, rather than as some kind of media streaming device. However, it does have some benefits over the Echo Dot. One of those, obviously, the main one really, is the fact that you're doing away with that plug that you've got to plug into the socket and trail a cable for. This is something that will just discreetly sit there in a socket. So this also has a built-in USB port in it, so you can plug in things like your mobile phone and charge that from it as well. So that's quite a nice little touch. And additionally, you can plug in optional extras. As you can see here, the examples they've got there, you can plug in a motion sensor, or you can plug in a night light. So you can set up all kinds of scenarios here. You can have a night light for your kids in their bedroom or something like that, a hallway, and your motion sensor set up elsewhere on another one. You can trigger all kinds of things around your house with this. I think that's a really nice selling point with this, is this expandability, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see where Amazon goes with that and what kind of additional things it develops to be able to plug into this device. One of the things that I think is missing from this, and it would be fantastic if maybe that was one of the things that they managed to develop and expand upon it, but I think they missed a trick with this, and that is that they could have made this a Wi-Fi extender, and that would have really taken it to the next level, because they would have captured an awful lot of that additional market where people have got Wi-Fi extenders at the moment, or power line extenders or something like that. So if they were to do something like that as an optional plug-in for it, I think with all the other features that are on there, that would be absolutely fantastic. And like all the other Amazon devices, you can turn off the ability for it to hear things that are taking place. So it's just another option in the list of devices that they've got. If you're wanting that basic functionality that maybe you can build upon a little bit, but ultimately you're after being able to turn on some lights, or just ask simple questions or something like that, then this is a good starting point for me. I think the other thing as well is, as I mentioned earlier on, that speaker, it's not as powerful as what's in the Echo Dot, but like the other Echo devices, it does have a 3.5mm jack on it, so you could connect on an external speaker to get that extra sound quality if you needed that. As with all the other items, guys, I'll put the link to that in the description down below. Have a look at it yourself. If you've already got one of these, comment down below. Let others know what your thoughts are about it. Okay, so fifth item on the list is something that I heard of quite a while ago, and I think it's something that's been in America for a little while, and it's the Echo Auto. This is Amazon's attempt to get Alexa into your car. I've seen videos of people that have gone and hooked up an Echo Dot with a USB power out into the boot and stuff like that, and they've got a 3.5 jack connection going into from the Echo Dot into the car speakers. So you can definitely do something like that. But if you want something that's just a little bit of a neater solution, then this is probably something that's worth checking out. It's £50 at the moment, but Amazon are renowned for their discounts on things like Black Friday. This is something which, if your car doesn't have a built-in assistant at the moment, so I know some of the high-end brands have things like Google and, you know, have their own voice control side of things, but Alexa is something that has been missing to a greater extent. What this allows you to do, so you can either connect it via a 3.5mm jack to your hi-fi system if you've got that kind of input, or using your smartphone and your Bluetooth connection, you can get this hooked up that way to your car. One thing that this tries to achieve is bridging that gap. I know you can do this on Android, but on iOS I think it's still an issue where you can't swap Siri for a third-party voice assistant. So you'll be able to talk to this in the same way that you do when you talk to Alexa at home. You'll be able to just ask it to play some music or read out an audio book, and you know there's plenty of other options as well. You know, get it to read out the news to you, play a radio station, you know, even hands-free calling as well. These are a lot of the features that you'll find on top-end brand cars, BMW and Audi and things like that. You know, they have that kind of built-in ability to do some of those things. If your car doesn't have that kind of built-in assistant, then you're getting that for £50. And you know, just looking at some of the technical details here, you know, they've got this 8 microphone array on there. You know, so it's designed to be able to pick up voices in a what would be classed as a relatively noisy environment as you're traveling along the roads. I think there are some vehicles and phones which this won't support, and they have a link to that on the page. So it's, you know, if you're going to be looking at something like this, it's definitely worth reading that just to see, you know, make sure that your phone and car is supported. But I think the design of it is, you know, quite an attractive looking design. It's got that fancy blue light bar at the front, very kind of, you know, slim. Reminds me very much of if you've ever seen them, the older style hands-free Bluetooth boxes that you connect onto things like your sun visor and stuff like that. This comes with an air vent mount, so it, you know, it sits there right in front of you. But if you've already got one of these, then, you know, drop some comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. I'd be interested to hear what your opinion is. I'm sure other people would as well. If you want to have a look at this, guys, I'll put the links in the description down below, and check it out. Okay, guys, I originally intended to do 5 items. I'm going to throw in a bonus 6 item here. This is something that I'm going to be adding onto my camera kit bag, and it is the SanDisk Extreme Portable 1TB SSD. You can never have enough storage when you're out with your camera, and certainly if you're shooting raw footage, you need to get that off your SD cards or compact flash cards or whatever, and get that stored somewhere. 1TB normal SSD is probably around about the £100 mark for a reasonable branded item. So this is a little bit more of a premium price. It's just under £150. It does come in, you know, quite a rugged case, and you know, it's quite a small device. It's got some fantastic transfer speeds on it, up to 150 megabits per second. It's water and dust resistant. It's got that rugged outer casing on it. You know, it's a pocket SSD drive, so you know, it's great for chucking into your camera bag and having that storage available. It USB connection Type C and a USB Type C to Type A, so it works with Windows and a Apple Mac as well. You know, this is just great. You know, its price point is absolutely spot on. Waterproof, rugged. You know, these things are designed to be chucked around. Obviously, it's SSD, so it's, you know, it's a lot more robust than say a physical hard drive or something like that. So I just thought I'd throw this in on the end of the video as a bonus item on there. I'm looking for some extra storage for my camera kit. So you know, if I pick this item up fairly soon, I'll do a review on this. But if you've already got one, again, you know, love to hear your thoughts on it down below in the comments, and I'll put a link to it in the description. Right guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. You know, what would you choose off that list, or have you already got something off that list? But as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.